I can't wait to share with you what Teresa has done with this new collection from Hot Off the Press. It's called Teacups and Roses, and we've added some extra things to it, and Teresa has added the magic that she does. So please, come play with us. Before I get to the cutting dies, I just want to walk you through what we're starting with. So we've got the Teacups and Roses 12 by 12 patterned cardstock, so 12 sheets. And if you want to see every single sheet, just go to the product page, and then you'll see every single thing. We have it in 12 by 12, we have it in 6 by 6. You're going to get 24 sheets here with 64 cutouts. In the 12 by 12 you get 32 cutouts, so that's a nice deal. We have coordinating solid cardstock, 12 sheets, 12 colors. I'll show you why. And we also have the die cuts. Now there's 2 sheets here and you get 31 die cuts. Everything has projects on the back of the packaging. As I said, we have the Teacups and Roses very clever cutting die. We also have Corner Roses, an equally clever cutting die. And we have Teacups and Roses chipboard. As I said, it's a wonderful combination. Now before I get into the wonderfulness that Teresa did, just want to share with you a scrapbook page. And on all of our papers there's an obvious area where you would put your photos. We have the solid cardstock so that you can mat them easily, and we have the coordinating items so that you can just really make it wonderful all together. So you can see that. Now I'm going to go into our very first card, and here it is. This is a slimline card, as you can see. We'll get in a little bit closer. Steve's trying to get that remote to work. Okay, here we go. Now this is a the regular slimline 3.5 by 8 inch card, and Teresa has used the, as I said, the 12 by 12 on here. And here is the paper that she used, just trimmed it down. And I love how she made a little table setting. So she used our 4-inch doilies just to put it right down there. And you're going to get a little bit further back. You're trying to, Steve? Our remote is not always listening to his fingers. So you've got half of a doily right there. Teresa really recommends to use the sticky specs to attach those, because the doilies have, as you would expect, a very detailed border. So simply, you've seen this before, but I feel like I always have to show, just so that for new people, they have an idea of how great the sticky specs are. So 4 sheets are in the package, and you just pull this back, place your doily on here, press it down gently. You don't have to smash it, just gently. Then when you lift up the plastic liner, then you can lift up the doily and position it where you want it to go, and it's going to stick. By the way, these are reusable. You can use them for many cutting dies. Okay, got that? Now, that's what she has done here. And then she brought in that cutting die that I talked about. This is the teacups. Now, it only shows one teacup there, but you've got 2 handles, you've got the saucer, and you've got elements to decorate those. And just like Teresa shows here, there is a cut into the teacup itself right there. That's a cut line, so that you can stack them just exactly how she has done. So the papers that she used, let's see, her little, well, that teacup is out of this paper, and that little doily, or that little tablecloth, is out of this area. And the lace is right here out of that sheet, so that works nicely. Now, Many Blessings, that is out of the die cuts, and let me pull that in here just to show you. I know you know that we have them. There it is. And there is a wonderful surprise. Well, there's actually 2 surprises. This is one of our fairies. Now this is the oval fairies, but there is a fairy that is sitting. She's by herself, and I think it's brilliant what Teresa did. She's got her just sitting in. Now again, that's a cut line, so you can tuck her in. She just die cut her out of navy cardstock, and then she brushed her with the Spectrum North Sparkle ink. And so you just shake this up really, really well and brush it on, and it's going to give the sparkle that you're seeing right there. How pretty is that? Now, those swirls, well, actually, they came out of a different cutting die. I'll show that to you probably toward the end, but this is the corner roses. And so you get that steam coming up. Really fun. Now, on the inside of our card, let me show you what she did here. We do have, well, let's see. So you see the paper that's right there, and let me show you that. That is out of this one. And it is this little bit at the top. Look how she's done that. And what's really funny is you get this plaid, you get a dot, and she's used them all very effectively right inside her card. Just love that. The other thing she did very effectively is this is the cutout, the 12 by 12. So she simply cut it apart. You are my cup of tea. And then she has used the two fairies. So she's used these two individual ones, and one is kind of laying. You can see her right there. And the other one is sitting. You can see her right there. And then you saw her sitting on the teacup inside. I just think it's so cute. I hope you agree. Just really, really nice. Very clever woman, as we know. Now, let's go on to more that our Teresa has done. In fact, speaking of clever, I hope you're sitting down because this is just absolutely super. Okay, look at this card. Look at that teacup and the teapot. Look how gorgeous those are, and I will tell you, it is super, super simple, and I love that about Teresa. So this is using some of those same papers that we used on the first card. So you can see there's the lace, there is the dot, and there is the plaid. So all of those are used here. So you've got the papers out, you can just transfer to this card. Now this is a 5 by 6.5 inch card. So that's just going to make it super easy. And the directions are always down below in the gallery, so they're all there, all the measurements and so forth. Now what Teresa used after she layered her pieces, this is one of the die cuts, so you're my cup of tea, but I know that you are like me, and how did she do that? It's so very neat, and let me get my supplies over here. Okay, I'm going to bring in a craft mat because we're going to need that. And here we go. Now, okay, so we need a craft mat, absolutely. We also need a spritzer of water, and we're going to use several ink pads, actually fewer than you might think. So we're going to use, these are all the Harmony Spectrum Noir water reactive dyes. They're like the Distress inks, Grasshopper Green, the Honey Pot, it's kind of a gold. We've got Ocean Blue, and Fuchsia, which is a pink. Now, there's purple in there. How do you suppose we got that? Well, you know, if you mix a pink and a blue, you're gonna get purple. So that worked nicely. Now what Teresa tells us is to remove the items out of the backing. So I've already removed the teapot and the teacup, just to have them ready. You want to do that because it will allow you to control where this color is going to go. Super easy. Are you ready? Okay. Now Teresa said to start, in the instructions she said to start with the honey pot, but it's kind of hard to see on the craft mat, so I'm going to start with fuchsia. You're going to do the same thing with all of them. Just press it onto the mat, and I'm just going to press it in one area. Okay, can you see that pink? Okay, now I know that I want to have purple, so I'm going to put purple next to it and overlapping it, and you don't need much. Don't worry if you don't feel like you've got enough on there. Okay, now honey pot is going to go right here, and I know that's almost impossible to see. And then grasshopper is going to go right here. So they're all overlapping in the middle. I'm going to spritz this with our mister a couple of times. Okay, you ready? Now I'm going to plunge my teapot into this mixture, and I'm just going to get my fingers in it too. And if it does like that, then just bring it back. Just pop it back in there. Okay. And you can add as much water as you want. Okay, look at that. Now, if you want to, you can have it sitting over and do another splitch of water. You want to do too much because after all, this is chipboard and it will absorb that, which is what it's doing very nicely. Okay, to go to the teacup, if you want to. Now in this case, it looks like she did mostly the pink and the yellow. So I think I'll follow her example. Spritz this and place my teacup and lift. Okay, I think I'll get a little bit more pink and maybe a little bit of blue. Ooh, how fun is that? And how easy is that? This is one I did when I was practicing, and you're going to get something different every time. So here's Teresa's. Very, very fun and very easy, and what a great look. I love that Teresa brought this to us, and I love how simple it is to do. Now, when she placed these, the teapot gets glued down. The teacup is on foam tape, so that just works well. And I have colored fingers, and that's just fine. So the other things that she's done is she has used the magenta and dark pink ribbon to span that area and then to make a bow. She added just a little tiny flower, and this is out of the Puff Sugar Posies. What's nice about these is you get so many different sizes, all the way from this little 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches, and that's great. There are 49 pieces in this package. Now for the inside, a different color scheme. So we've got very pink on the outside, having a really fun time with all that colorful teapot. On the inside, she's gone with gold. And that's something that's really nice about this collection. Now, this piece is out of this paper, but she's used this area of it. You can see that lace right there, and that's the part that she used. Really nice. She did mat it on the gold solid cardstock, so that works nicely. You're the Best, oh excuse me, this part is out of the die cuts. So you can see that she took that long piece, cut it in almost half, maybe a little bit less than half. So she had a long piece here and a narrow piece there. I love how she did the vertical and horizontal. You're the Best, that is coming out of the cutouts that is in the 12 by 12 patterned cardstock. Really, really nice. Okay, and we have more. Okay, as I said, we've got lots of goodies to share with you. Now, I have to tell you that I did something special to go with this paper collection, and that is a stamp set. Now, these are from our friends at Daisy May Designs, and this was called Afternoon Tea. We had it earlier, I think we had it last year, but I bought in some extras just to play with our teacups and roses, because isn't it just perfect? And these are the photopolymer stamps, and you can see that they're just really nice. And what Teresa has decided to do is to put them on our side step card. Now, she used the cutting die, which is right here, and that works perfectly. And if you love this style of card, that's really a good investment to make. However, if you just want to try it, we do have the side step die cut cards, and that will get you 5 cards and 5 envelopes. So those are 2 options for you. But in other way, whatever way you want to use it, this is what you're going to end up with, or this is the shape of card you're going to have. Now, what Teresa did is she used the 6 by 6 patterned cardstock, and she used the dot to go on the front of her card. Now, she die cut the card out of the solid cardstock, the yellow one, so you can see that that's this base, so that's why she used the cutting die. Now, Teresa likes to use the the card as a mat so that she doesn't have to do that twice, and I think it's a really good idea. So when she wanted to do her dotted paper, she provided us with a download, and you'll find the download in the gallery. Click on this card and then go to the supply list. At the end of the supply list, you're going to see a download. It will be this. And whether you use the die cut cards or the cutting die, this is a good thing to have. So you might want to print out a couple of them while you're there. Okay, so that's what she has used for the front of her card. And then for her coloring. So she used two things. Number one is she used the Hunky Dory's Essential Card Block. Now this is a paper that is designed for coloring, and so it's a heavyweight. You get 75 sheets in it, and so that's a nice thing. If you've got something else, certainly use that. Now Teresa elected to stamp using that stamp set, using the Finesse Spectrum Noir. This is the Noir Black, and it's like a StazOn, so if you have StazOn, that will work, but it's the same type of thing. What you want is a very crisp black so that you can go in with your alcohol markers and do the coloring. And Teresa has listed for us this package of tri-blend markers, and that is going to give you 24 of them. This is a little spendy, but it does give you everything. I just thought I would show you what those markers are and why we quite frankly absolutely love them. It's because you're going to get a light, a medium, and a dark in one pen. How neat is that? So as you are coloring maybe this little teacup, you've got a light here, you've got a dark there for the shadowing. Same thing on everything. When you get that rich depth, that's what these will help you. So you don't have to buy 3 different colors. You just buy 1 pen or 24 pens in 24 colors, whatever you like to do. So what Teresa's done is she stamped all of them, colored all of them, and then cut them out just right along the edge. She did leave a little white edge. I'll share with you that we find the 4.5-inch scissors work really well, and I've got to get a pair here in the studio because I keep doing this and that's not really helpful. They have a 2-inch blade, so they're really easy to cut around, so that's nice. Now notice on the front of her card, on that dot, that she put about an inch wide crepe ribbon, and this is out of our yellow ribbon set. And how pretty is that? You might not think that that wide a ribbon would work on a card of this size, but it works perfectly. And this is a Teresa trick. In fact, there are several of them. So she put that ribbon before she glued the paper down. So then she glued the paper down. Then she went in with another piece of ribbon out of that same set and tied a knot out on this ribbon, and then tucked in a few more pieces of the ribbon, or you could make another bow, or you could just do loops. Actually, I think she's just done loops. So that looks like another very fancy bow, doesn't it? But it's very easy. Now for the inside of her card, well, I guess I should tell you right here, these two, those are cutouts from that paper collection, that 6x6 patterned cardstock. Now for the inside of her card, what I think is really fun that she did is that she has this going on, and this is from this paper. Remember we talked about that little area being used earlier? Well, now she has turned this and has cut this piece just in a rectangle, matted it on the darker yellow, wrapped another ribbon around it, then glued it on the inside, and did another of her coloring. Now there's a little slice of lemon right there. On this one, there's a little tea bag hanging off, and you can see there are some of the other plaids on the steps. Those two steps, they came from the same sheet, so that worked out just quite perfectly. How fun is that? Really, really nice. And oh, by the way, with that cutting die, that side step, you can use the regular Gemini Junior or a Big Shot, so that's also really nice. Okay, let's go to another card. And this is another fun, different one that Teresa has done. The woman is quite talented. So here we go. Now, this is a little bit different card. In fact, there's many different things about it. First of all, it's really pretty, just really, really nice. But as I open it, it goes like this, and then it will also stand up. Let me show you. Look at that. So there's several things going on. So this is a card, then this is a zigzag piece, and then there's a little brace to hold this, okay? And let me show you what she's done. She's using the 6x6 papers, but let me start with the card base, okay? And let me get this. There's some pieces that you'll need to cut out, and we'll start with the card base itself. So here we go. This is 11.5 by 4. And then you're going to do some scoring, and we always kind of start on the left-hand side. So you're going to score at 1/2 inch, 5 3/4, and then also at 11 inch. That's going to give us a 1/2 inch on each side. Then you're going to fold everything in mountain folds, okay? See that? And you noticed, I'm sure, the extra sticky tape. Well, here is the way that you want to think about it. Again, the directions are down below. You're going to take a piece of the extra sticky and put it on the outside right there. Then you're going to flip this over and put it on the inside. This extra sticky tape always goes along the fold, so that's going to make it easy. Okay, so now we have this kind of tint all ready for us. Now we're going to make another piece. This piece is going to measure 8 inches by 4 inches, similar to the first one. And then we're going to do 3 scores at 2 inches, at 4 inches, and at 6 inches, all measuring from our left-hand side. Then we're going to accordion fold this, but we're going to start with a mountain fold, go to a valley, and go to a mountain, okay? This is going to be that middle section of our card. And the way that you attach this is, I'm going to hold card right there just so you can kind of see it. And what we're going to do is we're going to first place this piece on that inside area. So we're going to take that off and attach it right there. In fact, I'll do that. You just lift the tape off without tearing it, Paulette. Okay, and when you position it, you want to make sure that nothing is hanging over the end and that they're nice and flat. Okay, so it's like that. Now, then you're going to take this piece and you're going to place it in the middle right here, so that, like that, okay? So that creates your card. Now, this part is a little floppy, just a little floppy. Yes, you can see that. So what you do is you make a brace. This brace is 1 inch wide by 2.5 inches tall. It is folded in the middle, and there's a piece of extra sticky tape on each side at the opening end. This part is going to go under here. And it's going to hold this together so that it doesn't go too far. So then you end up with this structure. Now ignore this part right now so you can see. So there's the card we started with. There's one piece tucked under there, and then that other flap is right there. And then our little brace is under there. Neato. Very fun. Now, the fun isn't done, I will tell you. Teresa, because she wanted to have a statement here, so she cut a 3.5 by 4.5 inch piece, and she placed on it this paper. This is out of the 6x6 patterned cardstock. So this is what goes right here. And because she cut that out of white cardstock, that becomes the mat for it. And then she also, for the inside of her card right there, she used this part of the 6x6 patterns, you see? and that's going to go right there. So the teacups are going to get cut off this time. The lace, well, the lace is on the back of this piece. That's what she used right here, so she duplicated it right there. And for embellishment, she added the thin line dazzles. So she used silver up there, 2 of them, as you can see. And that just did a really nice little glittering accent for it. Now, the cutting die that was used is this corner roses, and you can see the corner roses right there. Now we're going to use the solid cardstock, so you can see the greens that are used, 2 shades there, as well as the flowers. Now what Teresa did is she used the solid cardstock, but she made one of them glittery. You can see that, right? Okay, what she used is it's called glitter foil. We just call it glitter adhesive. And this has 5 sheets in it, and it is magic. In fact, I'll show you on this blue solid cardstock. So what you can do is simply pull this. It is adhesive on the back of it, and it is got glitter embedded in the adhesive. So nothing is coming off. There is nothing to come off. And you place that on anything, and you're going to turn anything into a glitter piece of paper. How neat is that? So if you're missing a color out of a glitter cardstock that you love, you can make it yourself with this glitter cardstock. So that's what Teresa did, and she die cut after the glitter was on top of the cardstock of the light one. She backed it with the dark pink, and there's the cutting dies that she used. The swirls do a really nice job of going up here into the cutouts from the paper, as well as that piece goes across. So isn't it just really nice? So we've got the thin line dazzles at the top here on either side of this border, and down below right there. Just really, really nicely executed, and plenty of room to write your greeting or to tuck maybe a gift card in there. How fun is that? Okay, we have one more bit of magic to share, and one more unique card to share with you. Okay, here it is. Now, in that last card, I've thrown these papers around, so I'm not sure I can pull it out. No, I can't. Wait a minute. Yes, I can. Okay, we used this paper, we used this side, but that left this one. Well, in the 12 by 12, we've got the same thing. So what Teresa has done is she has used this side of the paper. How fun is that? So she started at the top. This is our regular 5 by 6.5 inch card, okay? And look what you get in this one paper. You get the teacups on dots, you get another dot, you get a lace, and you get a plaid. All of that in one piece of one paper. I think that's pretty neato. And what Teresa has done is she has just let that be the front of her card. Now she did add, as Teresa is known to do, out of the white ribbon, she took the narrow grosgrain and just wrapped it around following that edge of the lace and glued it behind the paper before she glued it to her card. Really, really nice. Now, right here, this is one of the die cuts. And let me see, it's the little blank one. In fact, let me show you. There it is. And she added the set of tiny words and phrases. Now you get 310 tiny words and phrases in black, white, gold, silver, and brown. Obviously, she used the silver. But you might wonder, gee, this is so tiny, would you really use it? Well, this is exactly the place to use it, just when you need a little something. Very, very fun. The pink diamond sparklers is what's right there, and that does a nice job. Now, are you ready for the inside? Because there's a surprise in here. Okay, let me open this up. Wow. We have a burst of flowers, and then we also have this fun little spanning piece. Now, it looks really fun like that, and I think it's really a nice surprise. But look, Teresa has designed this so that if you wanted to, you can tuck a tea bag into each side, or you could tuck a tag, or you could tuck anything. But isn't that nice? really fun. Okay, let me show you how she did that. And there is a download for this pattern, by the way. It looks like this. It's 8.5 by 11 paper, and it's the pop-up pocket pattern. Say that 3 times fast. Okay, here's what it's going to look like when you trace and cut it out. Now this is out of the solid cardstock, obviously, but what Teresa did is she used this patterned cardstock, okay, right here, and she cut this, placed it right along the bottom. So what you get is a tiny bit of lace right here, and you get this span of flowers as well as the plaid. And what's nice is that goes against the all over floral, which happens to be on the other side of this same piece of cardstock. So that works nicely. Okay, now what you want to do when you get this piece cut out is just like Teresa did, is you're going to put the extra sticky tape there and there on the outside. Then we're going to flip it over and put extra sticky tape on the flaps. The flaps are going to go in, and the center of this is going to be coming forward. It's going to be a mountain fold, then you have valley folds on each side. And then we're going to take these little tabs and flip them under. So it's going to go like this on the inside of your card. And what's nice about this is because this is going to hold these closed, that's going to make your pocket. So you've got your pocket attached here and at the ends. And as you can see, it's just a really nice little piece. Okay. Now, Teresa also used the die cuts on the inside, so let me just show you. So this little tag is right here. Thinking of You is what she added. There is that rose that is a cutout, so that's out of the 12 by 12. And then this little piece is what she turned horizontally, Get Better Quick. So certainly a cup of tea is going to help you get better quick. Okay, I think you will agree that Teresa has done an amazing job with some really fun techniques using everything in your craft world. And let me just recap for you for a moment. So this is Teacups and Roses, patterned cardstock, 12 by 12 cardstock, die cuts, 6 by 6 pattern cardstock. We have chipboard, we have cutting dies, and then she even added a couple of sweet fairies and some wonderful techniques that you can use on so many things. Wow, Teresa, absolutely love what you did. I hope you do too. Hey, be sure to tell me what you think. We've got the matted cutouts for you. We have the 12 colors in 12 solid cardstock sheets. So those are different things, and we've added lots of extra goodies and some fun techniques. Do try that coloring the chipboard. It's really neat. So thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. We love having you. Do leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about Teacups and Roses. By the way, one of our customers suggested this last year. It took us a year to do it, but I want you to know I do listen to you when you push that button that says request. I do make note of it. And thank you for joining us. By the way, there's a money saver on the right-hand side of your screen, of course. And join us again. If you're watching this on YouTube, head on over. We'd love to have you, and we'd love to share our new things and our sales with you. By the way, all of this is exclusively, the only place you're going to get it is paperwishes.com. Bye-bye. See you next week.